Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Perfect. I didn't hear the music, so I was concerned as to whether everyone can hear me or not. So very, very good morning to everyone. I hope everyone's feeling more aligned today, having enjoyed the release that we've done yesterday, being in that energy and just feeling it, taking it all in, allowing yourself to move a step forward towards that alignment every day. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to actually address the other comment that was given on the chat the other day. So we'll whoever had commented on the chat on day one, Sharmila had spoken about weight loss, and we've taken that and we've done a detailed release on that. Now today I'm going to address the other comment that was there, that was the suffering in the relationship that is there. Mehek, wait. Are there any other comments? In relationship, it's confusing, trying to do things the right way, behavior, talking, but something somewhere goes wrong. Okay, so whoever had made that comment, if you are already on the platform, now would be a good time to raise your hand so that we can actually understand from you better where it is that the misalignment is coming in the thoughts, the words, and the actions. All right, so we'll give you a little time to raise your hand. And in the meantime, what I'm going to tell you is in general what it is that actually stops us. Now, you guys, we actually start our sessions right from the discussion, right from the releases. So I urge everyone to come here on time so that the queries you've raised, you can actually be part of those releases from the start. Of course, if you miss it, it's on YouTube, but if you're here, we can start right at it. All right. So now, what do each of you think might be some of the reasons that we have a misalignment in our thoughts, our words, and our actions? Why do our thoughts not match to our words and actions? Or the actions like we understood that we feel like we should be doing, those don't match at a thought level. Why do you think that is? Anyone? One of the aspects that, of course, contributes to this, of our thoughts, words, and actions not aligning, is not having clarity, not knowing what it is that I actually wish to achieve, what it is that I wish to get to, what is my end goal, and hence no clarity as to what is the action that I need to take towards that end goal. Stored memories, experiences is what Manjusha has shared, Mitushi has shared. So stored memories, experiences, those all restrict us. What kind of stored memories? Anyone want to speak out about what kind of stored memories might be there which stop you from getting there? Because of course, here when we're talking, if there's not specifics, then we're talking about at a general level. When we have certain experiences, we start framing beliefs related to those experiences, and we start living out those beliefs. But now we're talking about when I'm going to change that at a thought level, when I wish to change that at a thought level, then what prohibits me to take that action forward? Yes, Manjusha, would you like to share? You raised your hand.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So, I mean, I'll just speak from my personal experience. I hope, I don't know, maybe it might resonate for others.
All right.
But, past, I mean, I said stored memories and I meant past memories. And I can say this could be a lot of times that one could not really respond in a way one would have liked to. And it was a very oppressive situation, and maybe even in the childhood, like I've gone through a lot of trauma in my childhood. And I find that although I have all the thought and all the clarity and I make all the lists and everything, but something like just keeps me from moving forward because of, as you said, the passive aggressive behavior, that we talked about yesterday. So there was a lot of disciplining and a lot of no, and you cannot do this and just be within your own limit kind of a scenario. And that, I think, has unknowingly now started affecting, and I have understood this because of the releases that we've done, that it keeps coming up. Like even yesterday, that's the memory that came up. And I had suddenly, a shock to realize that it has not gone, because I have put in quite a bit of work, but it's still sitting there like one ghost in the corner or elephant in the room.
All right.
So that is my thing. The stored memories are that it just keeps coming up, popping up the moment there is the right stimulus.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Manjusha. I'm sure everyone has some of the other resonance to it, because we're all, going through life experiences, and we've all had good times, bad times, hard times, conquering times where we've overcome something. But our past experiences, our memories, our childhood, all of that amounts to so much when it comes to how our current reality is playing out. Yesterday, when we spoke about the passive aggressive behavior that is there as well, a big part of that, because we don't realize that as adults, but a big part of what happens is that child within us, which feels unresolved, which feels like it was unjust for that to have happened, which feels judged or which feels shamed, tends to come up and tends to take over in that situation. And just when, just like a child who's going like, no, I want chocolate, 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 chocolate. Now they might have something else that they could eat, something even yummier. But at that point, they're just so fixated on chocolate, 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 that even if you're offering that to them, now it's just being stubborn about what was asked for in the first place. That child within us that is unresolved may begin to come up now. All right. Now, experiences are something that is extremely important. At least the one point I would like each of you to take forward from today. We'll be doing the releases, we'll be talking in depth about where these feelings come from, why we hold on to them. And Manjusha, even when you're working on it, when you are releasing it, if you're doing it through these sessions, there's going to be a great amount of release that happens. But if it is still stuck somewhere, the learning remains from those experiences, which is why they cannot leave. The minute we take the learning from it, we simply progress forward over there. All right. If the learning is still pending and it cannot leave, we keep inviting that experience in one shape or the other. Okay. Thank you, Garima. All right. So we were talking about what we can do as responsible adults as well. The whole thing, be in your limits, know what you're doing. Those are words we use to communicate to the children around us, to our own children, to the younger demographic. It's words we've understood, we've been disciplined with. But now that you're understanding the effects that those have on us, even at this given day and age, we could actually begin to shift those, and that could make such a difference to the individuals that we're bringing up now. Be in your limits. Stop crying like a girl. All those stereotypes, they really need to go now. Instead, if you will treat your toddler, your child, like you would any other person that you respect, like a respecting individual, like a respecting adult, and tell them, okay, we've had a lot of cake today. Now, can we save some for tomorrow? Okay, or just literally asking them whatever else you want to do. Can we go and look at this now? Should we play with our toys now? Doing that is going to actually help them to enhance their thinking abilities as well, their decision making abilities. They're going to start taking charge. They're going to feel in charge of their lives. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. And you will see how nicely, I see my 2-year-old also like taught there, like, he's on a mission and he's going to do this now. Okay, should we read now? Do you want to pick the book and get it for me? You go there, he'll see what he wants, he'll tell you which he wants, and he'll bring it. Now, what you're fostering is a responsibility, a fondness towards something else, understanding that, okay, I've had enough. Even if they're throwing a fit, an absolute fit, they're crying. And it's not to say that adults won't have a meltdown when they see a toddler have a meltdown also. That's very, very normal. Because we lose our wits also when we see somebody we love so much crying beyond control. So it's okay to have a one-off instance, but in general, just letting them know instead of shushing their feelings and saying, oh, you have nothing to cry about. What are you crying about? Stop crying. Just telling them, I understand you're feeling something really big just now. I understand you're feeling frustrated or angry or sad. And it's okay to feel that way. But I'm here for you. You can tell me what happened. So many times just telling my toddler, he's crying, and you don't know what he's crying for. And it's just a fit. Because it's just a tantrum. It's not even that, that something has happened at that point. But just telling them that if you tell me what happened, I can actually help you through it, or we can get through it. But if you're simply crying, Mama doesn't know what to do. Can you tell me what happened, please? What is bothering you? I'm here if you want to tell me. And even if they're just, barely two, they're going to at least, for a second look at you and think. Then if they want to continue that tantrum, they might as well just continue that tantrum. But letting them know, letting any young individual, whether it's a toddler, whether it's a baby, whether it's a child that you see in a school, letting them know that, okay, I understand you're feeling this big emotion and you have no idea what to do about it. It's absolutely normal. I feel it too sometimes. Let me know if you want me to help you through it. I'm right here, or you will get through it. It ticks some box in their mind, and they're going to be able to process things a lot more differently. They're going to know that their emotions are valid. They're going to know it's okay to express them. They're going to feel safe, knowing that there is someone there for them if they wish to share, and also knowing that they're going to be all right. Okay, that is my negative experience. So just incorporating that in our life totally helps. For schools, for colleges, we're in fact coming up with, we've already emailed so many colleges, we've come up with programs for schools simply for this reason. At a young age, to understand our emotions and understand what to do with it, understand that they're valid. Because whether we understand or not, young individuals go through a lot more pressures maybe at times than we do. The pressures just look different. There's peer pressure at that age, there's peer pressure at this age. And which brings me to what it is that actually stops us sometimes when we have the thought, when we know the words. We know, okay, I want to think positive, I want to move towards spirituality, I want to do X, I want to do Y. What stops us from bringing that to fruition? What keeps us in that unhappy career, in that unhappy relationship, keeps us stuck? We at this age also feel a lot of peer pressure. The fear of how other people may react to this. So even what we started with, the relationship, the fear that if I say this, what's going to happen after that? How will people respond? Will they be okay with it? Even the person that says, you know what, I don't even like people so much. I like spending time by myself. I like being by myself. I enjoy that. It's okay. I think differently. I think radically. And I choose to think that way. All of us still want a community to fit into. It may not be the community you were born into. It may not be the family you were born into. It may not be the country or the region that you're born into where you wish to fit in necessarily, but you will still look for a place to fit in. When people do workshops, they do releases as well. You come to a higher realm of understanding yourself. You understand yourself deeper, better. So many times you have a shift in how you think. So many times you realize, you're like, oh my God, yes, I've constantly just been around an energy where we just simply gossip, talk about what's going wrong, and because it's the norm. You meet a person, you compliment them for maybe a second, but we aren't engineered to take compliments for very long. So if I come in and I go like, oh yes, hi, like you look really good, etc. The person will say thank you because that's a nice thing to, and that is actually how we should feel. So Garima messaging today, perfect day to message. Thank you very much. All right. But when we realize, and I'm sitting with you for a coffee, you will see that within 5 minutes, people will start talking about, yes, so this went wrong today. I was coming here and there was so much traffic, and then I saw this on the way and I was just feeling so annoyed. And then I got this phone call. Because we as human beings are problem solvers. We want to solve problems. If someone tells us, oh, yeah, I had such a great ride over here today when I was coming to meet you for coffee. I had an amazing day. I got up, I found everything I wanted. I just, wore this outfit. I felt so pretty today. I came here and I'm doing this. You're going to be like, all right, good to know. What else is happening in your life? Now they tell you, I was coming here and the driver in front of me didn't even know how to drive. They didn't know what they were doing. You can do nothing about that, literally nothing about that situation. The situation already happened. You don't know the person they're talking about. Nothing. But notice how you might still have 20 minutes worth of conversation to have with that one client. Now you're going to tell them about the bad experience you had when you had some person driving in front of you that didn't seem to have any idea what they were doing. Or you're going to share a story like that, but you're going to have something to say. And then they're going to build off that. And there you have your conversation. So we so many times, if you realize, find ourselves simply in a space where we're problem solving. Now to solve problems, I need problems. How much time can I talk about other people's problems? Right? Oh, yeah, there was this car where this happened. Slowly, we shift focus to ourselves, to our problems, or to gossiping about something negative. We do something called a new life experiment in Theta healing. Vayana speaks about having done it with her husband, where it was simply about, eliminating any negative thoughts, any gossip, saying anything bad about others or yourself, more importantly. We also say bad things about others only for very little time. Mostly it's about ourselves, about where we feel helpless, about how we feel stuck, about how we don't know how to move forward, about how we regret having not done something on time. Just take note of how often we do that, because it is how we're wired to a certain extent. So she spoke about doing something called a new life experiment, where of course it's not changing overnight, but the second, you realize that this is a thought, at least you do not put it into your words. You don't give that energy to your words. If you get it in your thought, also just say cancel, but move on. But in your words, you're mindful and you're making sure you're not saying anything following the arguing, complaining, gossiping categories. Within 2 days, her husband actually asked her if she wanted to file for a divorce. And she was wondering why that is. And he said, no, generally you're jabber, 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 jabber. Last 2 days, you've barely said 5 words to me. And she hadn't realized this because she was so busy, sort of correcting her thoughts and going, no, cancel this. And then finding some new thought to even put there. And he said, you've barely spoken in 2 days. Is something wrong? Are we heading down a negative path? What is happening? But we look for a sense of community. So now, even when these workshops come together, anything happens, people find their soul family. Suddenly, at least for that little while that they're there, they'll see that they're discussing, okay, can we discuss these belief systems? Can we discuss how to release it? Can we do this? You might have different things to talk about. You might still be talking about the problem because problem solving is ingrained in us. But now you're focusing, instead of focusing on moving from one problem to the other, and helping each other see everything that was wrong there, now you will see your focus shifting towards, okay, yeah, so, how about we solve this together? Maybe this could happen. You're looking at the other person's perspective. You're looking at understanding the problem. You're looking, instead of the why this happened to me, you're looking at what next. How could this get better for me? Okay. That's such amazing thoughts and need. Makes it better. Both parents have it. Yes, it absolutely makes it better if both parents talk the same way, if there's the same lingo, if you have a similar way of parenting. But I also acknowledge at the same time that is something that is not very easy to have right from the get go, because people come from different upbringings. People come from different upbringings, so they have different sort of approaches to what they're doing. Other than the upbringing, is it's also about your belief, your thought, what you've been doing. So today I might be reading 20 things about how, this thing about motherhood, about toddlers, about how to handle toddlers, because I'm in this field. So it's very important for me that those positive words reach there. For my husband, he has other work to do. He has his earning, this, that to do, that he's constantly rolling on. Okay, now there's a family to support. What do we do? How do we do? What planning is to be done? When next? How next? So their mind is running on that tangent. So sometimes when they're told, how about you tell them this nicely or tell them this differently? They're just like, you know what? I don't need this. And that happens more often than not. It would be ideal if both parents had a discussion and spoke a similar manner, addressed the kids in a similar manner, or at least addressed their tantrums or the bigger emotions in a similar manner. But here's what I've realized: you go with what you have and run with it. So if that doesn't happen, don't stop yourself from doing it. When you're going to do it enough times, when you're going to keep doing it, when you're going to see your child respond to that, and kids respond to that, they will come to you and they will respond in that manner. They understand, they know. They are much wiser than we are. They're much more divine than we are. So they can connect to that energy as well. They might have both things. They might be a little confused, but at least we're not completely, putting them in the same space that we were in. You do your best to create that safe space for them. And very often, like more often than not, you will see that when that is working, when you're seeing that your child is picking up things fast, they're, turning to be compassionate people, that your partner might also want to start doing the same thing, and they will. Telling them simply might not be the way to go. So, which is why also when we're learning, we do a DNA activation. Any students, we tell them, if we've done the DNA activation for you, you got to do it for your partner as well. This is how you do it. Why are these things important? Is so that when your frequency is shifting, you're moving forward, and at least when you have someone more permanent with you, you want their frequency to at least somewhere match, so that your frequencies stay aligned with one another. Okay. So what I'm going to actually, tomorrow we might do a B round. Realize this pretty late in life, at least I'm glad of it. Yes. Okay, I'm going to do a B round tomorrow, but just now I'm going to do some downloads on communication, on feeling understood, on knowing that people listen to you and you can listen to them without getting overwhelmed, because I think that is what a lot of it is that's coming about is related to. Just being able to communicate and being able to communicate without fear. Being able to communicate knowing that you're safe. That safety comes right from our childhood, knowing that, you'll see the individuals that have been raised where the family is very open about discussing things, about talking. There's nothing which is a taboo, so to say. They become very balanced in knowing that, they're safe to say it. They don't have a need to suppress it, nor to express it out loud. Many times when it's suppressed, people have that desire that now I want to, sort of whatever's on my mind, they have to be loud about it through their actions, through their thoughts, through their words, through the tone that's being used in their words. There should be a whole demonstration around it. There's anger around it, because that's the only way they've seen communication work. And the person who's been, sort of loud or dominating is the one who gets their way. So the way that people around us might communicate, or we communicate also, comes a lot from what we have seen and how we have perceived it as kids. So if they've seen a dynamic where, one parent is really submissive, is really suppressing their thoughts and feelings, and the other one, sort of is more dominating, gets their way, is angry. Here's where the perception matters. Neither of those are healthy. That individual might grow up to be someone who completely suppresses their feelings, goes into a complete shell, as Amita said. Or you might have an individual who feels like, I have to assert myself to get my way. So they're very, very dominating individuals, and that's how they operate, because that's how they feel they can get any point across. Something that doesn't require any domination, that has no opposition, also will come across in a very dominating manner. So here's where our perception always matters in which way we will go. There'll be very few of the, very few percentage of that, those balanced individuals who understand that neither of these dynamics work. So let me create a middle one for myself. Today, we're looking at finding that percentage or creating that middle path where we are learning from our environment and growing forward from there. All right. So let's do some downloads. So would you all like to know the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of communication? That you know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to live your daily life, being able to communicate within yourself and to those around you clearly, confidently, kindly, and tactfully, that you allow yourself to have these conversations and to be able to communicate while feeling safe, being able to communicate your thoughts and to be able to communicate and put your thoughts into words, into actions that follow through in the same manner. That you know what it feels like to have healthy communication with those around you, to know what it feels like to be able to have your thoughts put forward and to know that they are understood, to know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of understanding, to know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to know that there's an understanding and that you are understood, that you are listened to, and that you know what it feels like to be able to listen to others, to be able to listen to your own inner voice and to listen to those around you in balance, knowing and having the discernment of what it is that you truly feel and to be able to communicate that happily, joyously, tactfully, and clearly, to be able to have that communication clear within yourself as well, without the need in you to hold on to any shame or guilt for the same, to understand that what you feel, how you think is valid, and that it is safe for you to express your opinion, that you are entitled to an opinion without the need in you to have an opinion about anything and everything around you, to know what it feels like to understand how you feel and to be able to express your thoughts and opinions in a manner that is balanced and in a manner that is joyous, that you allow yourself to do this with ease and grace, to know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of respect, to know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to live your daily life respecting yourself, respecting those around you, and inviting and attract respect for yourself from those around you as well. To know what it feels like to have respectful conversations, to have respectful discussions, to have positive discussions, to have a growth mindset, and to know what it feels like to invite and attract people around you that have a growth mindset and where you can have conversations that enrich you and that enlighten you, that allow you to grow forward in a manner that is positive, that you allow yourself to be able to hear a conversation, to listen to whatever it is that is important within that for you, to be able to take the learnings from any given situation or experience without the need in you to lug on to the trauma of the past. That you know what it feels like to be in a clear mind space, in a balanced mind space, in an integrated mind space, so that you may be able to take the learnings from any experiences you have while leaving the trauma behind, to be able to integrate those learnings and to feel thankful for those learnings, to integrate them wholly, completely, joyously into your present and into your future. Would each of you like this download into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief systems, and in any and every language you may have ever known or understood, for your highest and best and in your highest and best manner? Simply say yes to receive this download. Allowing yourself now to focus on your breath. Every breath you're taking in, feeling the energy of these words like a beautiful waterfall of light, entering your space, entering your body, and filling you up with these emotions, with these feelings, accepting them, and giving yourself permission now to communicate, to listen, to understand, to respect, to be respected, to be understood, and to know what it is like to feel the sense of community, to enjoy that, to enjoy positive conversations, to enjoy compliments because we all deserve them, to receive compliments, to receive love, to receive joy, to receive gifts, to receive abundance, to receive all the plentifulness the universe has to give us with open arms and an open heart. And to feel so much joy as you give it forward as well. To release any need within you to keep account of the same as you allow yourself to give and receive in joy, give and receive in balance, knowing that it is safe for you to both give as well as receive, feeling happy as you do so, feeling balanced as you do so, feeling integrated, and knowing what it is like to have your thoughts, words, and actions in alignment with one another. To truly give yourself permission to feel happy, to be happy, knowing and understanding happiness as per the creator of all that is from the seventh plane, knowing what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to experience happiness in your daily life, to know that you deserve it, you choose it, you allow it for yourself now. Let this be downloaded into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief systems, in any and every language ever known or understood by you, for your highest and best, in your highest and best manner, affirming yes to receive this download. And taking a deep breath in, breathing in all these positive emotions, feeling that energy, feeling energized by it, feeling joyous by it, feeling happy. Simply allow yourself to open your eyes. Right? Perfect. So you guys remember, experiencing happiness every day does not mean there's going to be something so exciting happening every day. It could, but doesn't have to mean that, oh, today I had nothing to be happy about, so I'm not. Experiencing happiness every day is about simply that, experiencing it every day. It can be about something you already have. It can be about something new and exciting. It can be about anything at all. It's in those small moments. It's in the everyday that you are looking at finding happiness. If we can look and find sadness in the everyday, we can find happiness in the everyday. When you see yourself finding sadness about something that happened so long back, think about a happy thing that happened as well. When I did the 100 days of happiness, that's the thing I realized. The idea was to have 100 days where you're posting constantly without any break in the middle, but something you're happy about that day. And I promise you, nobody on this planet, somebody's lying to you if they tell you they've had 100 days where they've just been completely happy. They've had no downs. They've had nothing pushing them down. They've had nobody lash out at them. They've not had a bad day. We all have good days. We all have horrible days as well. But when I was doing this is when I realized that first few days, you're like, okay, you know, what makes me happy today? I had done it on Instagram where to post something that made you happy every day as a proper post, not even as a story. Stories didn't exist at that time. I did it with a friend, and first few days you're thinking it could be anything. It could be a meal I ate and I really like it. It could be me seeing that people were preparing for a festival I liked. It could be anything. It could be a message I got. What happens after the first 15, 20 days is your mind is so wired to look for something that's making you happy every day. And because you have to actually click it, you have to actually, put that in a tangible form. Your mind is so wired to look at something that's making you happy every day that even on the days that were horrible, and there were some days that were horrible in the middle of that, my mind had at the back of itself already clicked a few things that made me happy because I knew I had to post that day. So it was so natural. The mind suddenly got conditioned to find happiness anywhere and everywhere. It just happened. You don't even have to look for it then. It becomes second nature to find that happiness, to look for it and to put it forward then. It's simply about rewiring our minds and doing that. So we've spoken today about rewiring and helping the kids around us have that mindset from the get-go where they can communicate, where they feel safe doing so, where they can express themselves. And for us today, rewiring that anywhere where we may be stuck or where we are finding it difficult for ourselves to get there. Start communicating, know that you're heard, start feeling happy in your everyday and see the shift it makes. We'll see whether we should do a whole week where we're actually looking at small things we can do together as a group as well. If that's something that you guys would want to do, you all can leave messages and we'll think about doing that as well. But we look at how to incorporate that as a daily habit then. Until then, stay aligned, stay happy. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.